Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This one, well, first of all, I'll tell you what I'm going to do today. I am doing the Age of Pisces reading. This is for astrological ages. It has to do with the precession of the equinoxes. I'm going to be using the Aquarian Tarot and the Work Your Light Oracle deck. Alright. So I've made a new sign. It's like Star Wars. Okay. So I've made a new sign. I'm trying to get it into the area where I've got the camera focused the best. Okay. So I've got the new sign here. Let me tilt this up a little bit for a second. Ugh. Okay. Because I've edited every single thing that I've got up on DeviantArt, and it keeps switching. If you're not logged in, you see the old site, and if you log in, you'll see the new Eclipse format that they rolled out, which is a lot better, and I wish everything would look like that all the time. So I've got some art prints available on DeviantArt, and I just got one for myself. I was only able to get the postcard for now. I just scraped up the freaking edge of it. So this is the postcard print from DeviantArt. This one's a glossy. They have it in matte and luster as well. So it's just a postcard on the back. It's like a... there. So, and I remember when I had gotten some several years ago that they were nice quality as well. So this is the kind of print you could expect to get on DeviantArt. I think the greeting cards come in a pack of 10, but you can get a single postcard. It's like $2. And so I've changed my sign. Instead of the patch of zebra, I now am featuring the silver keyring for my Egg of Life digital remastered design, because this was originally a painting and I traced it in GIMP and recolored it, and now it's merch. And I did put a few prints of this on DeviantArt. I might go back and change that. So, and I'm going to be adding more art prints here as well. I'm still working on redoing all of my merch. You can email me. You can tweet me. You can check out my Facebook art page. And if you want to order a reading, or if you want to order some little chapbook packets. This one's also black. You can hit me up at either PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, or you can email me for that as well. Alright, so let's get into this. I do also have the template for this available, and I stuffed it in this pile under here naturally. Alright, so you can get the template to make one of these. I have a video to make one of these. You can purchase this template as a large downloadable image file on DeviantArt, or you can message me at one of the other places and I will send you the .doc file for this for $2, or I can just mail you this sheet for $3 because, you know, postage. If you want to buy the angel paintings that I've got for sale, I've got 4 16 by 20 canvas boards that are ready to go. Those can be seen on DeviantArt. I also made a video the other day about it. Should be able to find it in my channel. So let me put this back down. Actually, that's probably fine at that angle. I lost my focus. Is that good? The screen is like 2 inches and I can never tell if it's fully focused or not. I had it so down. Is that good? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do the Age of Pisces. I'm going to pull some cards for the last age, which we've just finished, or we are finishing now. It would have started about 2,000 years ago. We all know the Vesica Pisces, fish shape being associated with Jesus because he would have been a figurehead of that, the start of that astrological age. Okay, so let's get some. I'm gonna pull 4-ish Rider-Waite Oracle cards for the one we're just finishing. The next Age of Pisces isn't gonna be for another 22,000 years, roughly. So it's going to take a minute to get there, but we can see what we've just learned and where we're heading. And then also I've found that these astrological ages, if you look at them in terms of as above, so below, you could say like as macro, so micro. So, you know, it could be 22 hours, 22 minutes, 22 days, you know, 22.7 years or however. It could be the next time something is occurring astrologically with Pisces energy, or if you're a Pisces, it might have more to do with you. So we'll just... There's 3 of them. I'm going to try and do it this way so you don't have to turn your head to see them. Okay, that's it for that row then. So I'll get a couple for the link between the last age and the next one. Okay, so I guess we're taking these 2 as well. Sort of together. And then some for the next age. These up a little bit. My cloth is kind of wrinkly and I didn't bother to, like, you know, open it up all the way and straighten it out. I'm gonna peel the corner off of this thing. Oh yeah, I wanted to, a few cards for the next age of Pisces in thousands of years. In terms of how I'm using my sites, I don't have a standalone website. I used to a long time ago, and I found it to be kind of a pain. So I feel like my Facebook art page is kind of whatever I'm into right this second, and the Deviant art is... These fell on the floor. I'm going to put that one, but not this other pile. My Deviant art is more for like finished, completed works that are more aligned with the general theme of my work. Sometimes there's outliers that don't always seem to fit with everything else. And I've removed a lot of those this week. But what I do want to do is I had started to set up a folder for things that are for sale, like physical art pieces, on my Facebook page. And it's just a hot mess, really. It's basically just a running log of what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to either ignore that folder or delete it, and then make a folder in my gallery on DeviantArt for stuff that's actively for sale, because I think that'll be easier for me to keep up with and easier to locate, because I feel like photos and images tend to get buried on Facebook. So let's get starting to pull some cards for the current age. Ooh. Alright, I'm going to take these two, but not the other ones that spilled out. And again, I'm going to be continuing to tidy up my existing merch designs on Cafe Press. It's taking a really long time to digitally remaster all the templates and do all the little nuanced selections and pricing and whatnot. And then I'll be adding more prints to DeviantArt. I'm going to go through some of those and digitally remaster them for the print format. Notably this one, I still have, for the keychain, well, for that Egg of Life design there, I still have the painting on DeviantArt, but when you go to do the prints, it's going to be the digital one. If you buy a print of that over there. There's postcards, greeting cards, coffee mugs, magnets, mouse pads. I made a video the other day showing an Amore mouse pad from, well, that one was from Cafe Press, but DeviantArt also has mouse pads. And then DeviantArt also has wrapped canvases, photo prints in many different sizes, and then fine art prints, which I guess are fancier in some way. They have them up to like 46 inches or 42 inches or something, so you could cover a lot of wall space with some of those. And let me get some more connection cards here. Extremely thirsty right now. I'm probably gonna have to get up and get a sip of water. Some more cards for the link between the current and next age of Pisces. I'm using the Aquarian Tarot deck because it's got a lot of watery energy, and it makes sense because we're moving from Pisces into Aquarius. And I wish that I had, well, I don't want to say I wish, it would be convenient if I had more than 13 decks, because then I could have some that are specifically, elemental based on which sign I'm reading for. And I do kind of, in a way, even though Aquarius is an air sign, I feel more inclined to use the Aquarian deck, again, because of that watery design. I do tend to use the Wild Unknown Tarot more for earth type energies that I pick up on. It's kind of sticking out. What do you think? Yes, no, maybe? Oop. Buddy, I'm gonna put that one over here. So I like to just kind of slap the cards down while they're face down, because then I can just get a good read of like, oh, it goes here, no, it goes here, and then I don't have to, I don't feel like I'm influencing the story if I can't see what's on the other side yet. No one here. Here. I think that's enough for now. leave those there for a minute and grab a beverage. I'll wait for this motorcycle to go up the hill at twice the posted speed limit. Okay. You know what was weird? This morning, I got woken up on my cell phone by a phone call, and I was like, what's this? So I answered it. It was a random phone call from New York, and I don't really know anybody in New York. And it was just like completely like Chinese or something, which is also weird because I don't speak Chinese, and it sounded sort of faded and distant. So I hung up the phone, but then like 2 seconds later, this like loud, like angry militant helicopter sound was like careening towards the overhead. You know, I'm still in bed, like I'm like, what the fuck? And then just, you know, with like that Doppler effect where you could hear it getting closer. And then as it got like reached that peak, like and then it got like to the, you know, as close as it's gonna get. As soon as it went away, it sounded like a jet engine. I'm like, what the hell happened to the helicopter? It was the weirdest thing. And then I was repeatedly assaulted by loud noises for the next 15 minutes. So somebody wanted to get my attention, apparently. Anyway, if that seems relevant to anything to anybody, let me know, because I found it to be very unusual. So let's see what's happening in the most recent age here. So this, I'm looking. Alright, so I don't know why I'm trying to explain how I'm reading this. I'm just going to go with it. So the Oracle card here says no. It says wait, pause. Oh my god, I can't talk. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. Is that... I might have to deal with the background being fuzzy because I want this to be more in focus. So bear with me here. I'm trying to get this. It's like I'm looking around my shoulder, like sideways at the end of the thing. Okay. So let me just read. Okay. Now, even though it says no, it looks like it's kind of feeling like a tower moment. There's the stairs here, and the stairs on the no card always looks like train tracks for the Chariot for me. And there's this lightning coming down. It reminds me of some of the cards in the Wild Unknown Tarot. There's lightning coming down in the Hierophant card. There's lightning coming down in the Eight of Wands card. And I think also in the... It might also be... Oh, okay, it's not the Knight of Swords in that deck, but it always makes me think of lightning. And I think there's also in the King of Wands or the Knight of Wands, there's lightning in that deck as well. So I have two pillars that are busted. It's like a combination of the moon and the tower. We have this giant pyramidal shape here, and this sort of thundery lightning situation going on. It's like you're not moving ahead until you deal with the darkness of the past. There's no way to roll forward. That's like your two lions have been beheaded and turned into salt. but you need illumination, which has this sort of like ancient knowledge represented by the pyramid shape has been occluded, and it's starting to rain down, and there's conflict, and it's causing tower moments. But the stairs slash train tracks haven't been destroyed, but it's like, hold up a second, wait for this download. Now, the clarifier card that came out with that is the Five of Rods inverted. So this has to do with confusion, conflict, immaturity, just sort of all-out bitch-slapping kind of energy. It's very combative. It's very unenlightened kind of an energy. So there's this idea of 5 again. And I did call out the Hierophant from the other card, which is 5, which has to do with, you know, more with... It's sometimes called faith or like a religious card, but it has to do with... It's also called unity in the angel deck, but it has to do with this idea of being connected to a higher knowledge and sort of downloading it and feeling like grounded in spirituality. And this is like a gut feeling intuition card. Well, it's upright, it's that battle, confusion, immaturity. And here it's like, hold up, time to turn that shit around. You're gonna grow up here in a minute. And we can see from the last 2,000 years of Earth history, which is what we're most familiar with, that things have been very much an uphill battle of losing, not like, of having high knowledge fade off and get even worse into the Dark Ages, and then come back with the Enlightenment period. But then there, like, right after Enlightenment really got hold, we had world wars. So it was a whole bunch of revolutions and overthrown governments leading up to World War I, and then with colonialization, and then like a total clusterfuck free-for-all, and then World War II, and then it's just been going on, and there's been just continuous war. So it's while we're moving into this age of enlightenment, the information age. So it's, you couldn't really describe it better. So let's see what else we're reviewing. So what I say, age of enlightenment. So we have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So here's this moon concept again. And this is well, no, this one's not kind of like that. I would say that this card is most like the Hermit, I would say. A little bit of High Priestess energy, a little bit of the Fool, a little bit of Four of Swords. This idea of, you know, being at rest, of being in this air energy of thought and truth. And again, this idea of there's a pause, there's a rest. It's like in a song and the sheet music, it's like there's a rest. With the no card, it's a rest, literally taking a nap, working on your subconscious stuff, and we're gonna get into this enlightenment. We're being woken up from this low vibration energy. So see, I called swords. We have 10 swords here, and the 7 of rods. Yeah. So this is the standing up for what you believe in card. It's like you've just achieved a victory, but now everybody's after what you've got and you're defending yourself. And then the 10 of Swords is a completion, and it's also that knife in the back kind of feel, like you've and then the moon again. So you fought this battle for, and it's, look at this, it's like the same frickin' color too. as much as something that was made decades apart could be. So we have these conical mountains here, this sort of pyramidal shape here, with the idea from the no card. So we're really, it's like we're not just taking a rest, we're taking a dirt nap here. We've completed the cycle. We've got this background concept of the star, the wish, the Aquarius card of moving forward. But we're really feeling it. We're at a high tension zone right now coming out of the age of Pisces. Everyone's super defensive. We've achieved a lot, but we need a new passion to hold on to. This guy doesn't look super confident with his like saggy beret. He's just kind of holding on, hoping that the flowers won't touch him in the butt. He's very weary. He's just kind of tired of constantly defending his position. And, you'd be tired of defending truth or what you thought was truth if you had all these swords in your, it's like acupuncture. And again, has to do with releasing old crap. It's like acupuncture severely in all your kundalini, all your chakras. It's like chur chur chur, wake up, buddy. Like I'm going to put you under. It's like the Evanescence song, Going Under. Alright, so let's see what else is happening. I'm so thirsty. Oh. Reading a water sign and end up thirsty as all get out. Okay, so also for the most recent age of Pisces that we're coming out of, we have Anna, grandmother of Jesus. This card says, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So this is, again, the light. We're not moving forward right now because it's renewing. We're breaking down the foundations. We're going to plant new things, and it takes a while for them to grow. And once those new foundations grow up, then we can put the train in action. And this idea of sleeping, it's like you plant the seeds, they sort of sleep for a while, and then they unfurl and wake up. You've got to water them, which is probably why I'm so thirsty right now. And then there's also this reference to Jesus, because if you're religious, that's fine, but the last 2,000 years of history has basically been this Christian age. I mean, it didn't really get going until the Council of Nicaea in 300, but around 300 after it was voted on. But the general concept is this age of Pisces, where there's this it's called Christ consciousness, but it's not like Jesus Christ. It's this sort of Christos concept was around for a long time. It has to do with attaching, like being in contact with higher dimensions and downloading information. So again, seeding the light, laying foundations, and that's just another nod to that idea of the age of Pisces as a water sign dealing with intuition and enlightenment and clarity, and also this femininity of water element. So what else is here? Victory, the Six of Rods. Interesting. So it's like saying, we've planted all these seeds, and then here's the Sphinx here. So it's like saying, well, our chariot is missing its other half and it's kind of crusty and old, but look, we've got some information from this pyramids. This ancient information is coming back around, and our moon towers are rebuilt after being taken out. And then also, this is all, it's all, except for that sword, that's 5, 6, and 7. So there's a progression in terms of gut feelings, the solar plexus chakra. It's like, what can you stomach? You know, what are these cycles doing? This idea of the Trojan horse here, because he's got like wooden armor on. There's something inside that's a surprise. It's like I almost see it in the opposite way. It's like, instead of just bringing war to your door, there's a gift inside that's this gut enlightenment. When normally it would be a gift with death inside. There's also this idea of 6 and 7 being a death cycle is 13. And then 5 more would get you the moon, which has been hanging around in the background. And here's some stars with the idea of 10 and 7 as the star. So I see this as, ultimately, there's a victory coming out of the age, as the ultimate goal was achieved. But even this card, there's often this underlying sensation of ego, and we definitely have that. All right. So let's see what's going to happen in the next age of Pisces. And again, it's going to be like 23,000 years from now. All right. So we have trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? All right. So it's going back to this idea of we're revisiting listening to our intuition. So we have clouds here with this idea of rain. We have these 2 trees here, like the pillars. So it's like this, but we have an option to not go through this tower moment. So I see the Empress, I see this High Priestess energy as well. That's like, you know, 3 psychic women energies joined together, and then you have the Empress with this creation and beauty and fruitfulness and, you know, intuition and control of all the elements. With the High Priestess, we have a 2, so there's 2 here on the side, and their pineal glands are open, and they're getting these sort of streaks coming down like, it's like in the Matrix where all the information trickles down. It's like downloads, and then there's like rain because it's water, it's intuition. So it's come to a choice of, you are not being deprived of your intuition, but you're challenged to trust it instead of fighting it. All right, so what comes out with that? The Hanged Man. Okay, so we're waiting for those downloads. We have the 9 of Rods, again with the rods. So here we've skipped number 8 from back here, and we're moving up in this progression. Now we're holding the fort of this gut feeling energy. It's been a long 22,500 years, and we've been holding space as the Hamlet's wheel, the great wheel in the sky, turns for this next opportunity to work on the Pisces project again. And then we have the 2 of Swords, which is these ladies here. It's the low vibration High Priestess. She's training, she's working on her intuition, she's blindfolded so she doesn't look at the material stuff in front of her. She wants to practice discerning which thing is the truth. And also in the next age of Pisces, we have Priestess. So there's the High Priestess again. How are you being called to step up and lead? So here we have the 2 lions that would be in the Chariot. We have this portal to another dimension. We have this pyramidal energy coming down. Her kundalini's activated. She's got a little snake on her head. And she's got wings here because she can astrally travel. And so in the next age of Pisces, not only are you going to access your intuition and work on it, you're going to use it to lead instead of using the sword to lead. Like literally battle. A battle, like a broadsword. You know, cut with your wits, not with your weapons, kind of a thing. And she's even got energy in her hands. She's got her wand center here. Her third chakra is lit up. So she's really using her gut feeling. She's made a triangle here. She's got fire in the palms of her hands, and she will enlighten you until you're crippled if you try to come at her. And it also paired with trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So here's this portal, it's round, and here's this portal as a doorway. And we see these sort of desert sands area. It's like, it's been so many thousands of years that all these like mountain pyramids, where was it, from over here have eroded. And we've been through these lands, and we've gone through the door. Okay, so it's trusting your intuition. It's resonating with the waters. And there's the moon there, suggested, and now pops right out. So again, clearing up all that crap, training, still working on it, getting through any extra darkness that's still there, really getting in there and doing the work. And there also is death cycle, so hinted at with the 7 and the 6 rods over here. Now it pops out as death, so we're clearing all this debris, this darkness, this confusion, all the dead, literally dead bodies that have happened. And we're gonna bring in balance and a new cycle. The sun is rising on a new day. So we go from the moon, and we have usually 2 pillars. You can kind of see this side piece here. The regular Rider-Waite one has 2 distinct pillars. So the sun is rising between them on a new day, and everything's being cleared out. And again, like all these distractions, you know, we don't need our video games. We don't need, you know, EDM and, you know, horror TV shows and scent therapy and snacks and, you know, backstabbing and, like, we don't need all these like material distractions. We need to focus on where we're heading. 7. Yeah, so I mean there's this 7 popping up again, which in the major arcana would be the Chariot. So we still have this hinting that we're going to be moving forward if we, you know, if we were, it's like defense and distraction. It's like military tactics. It's like a good defense is the best offense. Here's propaganda. Alright, so also in the future we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So again, this is what the Death card is bringing with this intuition. So we've gone from, so here's the 3 ladies again, and this is what they've done. And they're going up to a full moon instead of a partial moon, so they've completed this purging cycle of shadow work here. with this full moon shape. And we've got this sort of triangle hill here as well. All right, so here's this completion in terms of the Wand's energy. So we went 5, 6, 7. We skipped 8. We went 9, and now we've got 10. And then we have the Queen, so that's the death cycle and rebirth. Then we have the Emperor inverted and the Devil. Okay, so the issue is that masculine energy has been really focused on the material. They've felt burdened to have stuff. But the age of Pisces has to do with getting through to a male, this like hard male energy. It's like the patriarchy is over. All right, the seeds are blooming, the sun is coming in. He's got to let go of this imagined burden and complete the cycle to let in his death and enter this Queen of Fire energy, where she's in control of this intense, it's like the singularity. It's like a portal. And her sunflower's all grown up too, if they're the seeds that she planted. It's like normally you would say that the Emperor should be higher than the Queen of Rods, but because the patriarchy was so far up their own ass, they need to go back through this Queen of Rods energy before they can get to the King of Rods, and then collect the other 3 kings to go back into this position of being balanced. So he's going through an ego death, like the entire patriarchy going through an ego death to come through with this intuitive energy where things are clearly yes or clearly no, because you're grounded in your intuition. Like your third eye intuition is grounded in the middle of your body. Okay, so let's see what connects. Oh my god, connects the 2 eras. And I'm going to get into those cards over there. Okay, so to connect the 2 eras, we have Dance with Life, do something to change your energy, and the 4 of Swords inverted. So it's waking up and turning that shit around. And then the moon again here with these sort of pyramidal hills. We have these ladies, it's like they're practicing their like Cirque du Soleil stuff so they can get up into the air. Alright, so these other 2 cards that came out, we have Mirror, who or what is triggering you. So obviously if you're listening to the propaganda and you have to be defensive all the time, you're like constantly like zzz, zzz, like how dare you assault so and so, like oh, like human trafficking, borders, and those are all things that are designed really to trigger you. But we have Soul Family, calling your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. So this is the idea of people working together to overcome being triggered. Instead of division, you have togetherness. And then all these watery creatures to do with intuition. We have some growth down here. And we have people connecting with ESP, telepathy. We're opening our third eye. We're helping each other. So they're all in between stages. So what else to describe these other cards here? So here's where the King of Rods comes in. You know, I said that we need to get to that energy. Okay. And we'll get to this King of Rods energy if we move away, if we start sailing away from all the bullshit. And again, we have this like this sky, this is where we're going. We're waking up, we're going into this, you know, starry night situation. We're heading into the twilight because we're gonna go into the moon to work on the shadow stuff, which namely, so we have all these cups. This is like our wishes haven't been granted and we haven't been satisfied with what we have, but this is inverted. So it's like saying, well, maybe I will take this divine intuition and try to get over these now 12 cups that I wasn't satisfied with. It's like having a Knight of Cups inverted. You know, it's like there's no love in the masculine energy, but he feels the need to work on the shadows in the intervening thousands of years, so that when this energy that's left over from this age of patriarchy is ready to kick the bucket, he's ready to say like, oh, hey, I'm there too. Alright, so the back of the deck, we've got the Nine of Pentacles and Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? So this has to do with nurturing. It's like the seeds. It's like the Anna, Mother of Jesus card together, and she's standing on a crescent moon. She's giving herself that sensation of safety so that you can work on the stuff in the moon, and there's flowers growing in it. And here we have the Nine of Pentacles, so, which is, I call it a half wish card. So this is more of like dreams and wishes together, like nightmares and waking up and moving out to do this work. And if you're hot to move into this shadow world, you will receive the protection that you need to complete it, and you'll be able to work together with, what the hell is that? Work together with Three Pentacles is working together. It's new blueprints. It's building a foundation. We have fruits of your labor. We have this bird, which is, again, it's like divine messages, like, hey buddy, have you heard about working together with other people? And then this guy here, he's in the Six of Pentacles, which is it's like a male energy heart chakra opening, and it's like a balance, and it's charity and giving and concern for others. So there's the idea of, if you feel safe, you'll be able to build something with others in a way that's charitable, where you won't have to be in this free-for-all where you're out for whatever you can get and fuck everybody else, which is what we've had in the last couple thousand years. Alright? And then look, even this. Grapes, wine, Jesus. Okay, now if you're, again, if you're religious, that's, fine to a point, as long as you're not harassing people like, the Catholic Church has done for the last 2 millennia. But the general idea is that there's symbols that are particularly associated with the figurehead of the age. Okay, now even though these are like from Dionysus and like Mithras and others, and probably Horus going back before that, it's still this idea of those templates for the religion are expressions of the age of Pisces in particular. So even while they were there, and they might have been used in their calendrical stuff, and again, why you're associating someone who's the figurehead of the age of Pisces with Christmas is kind of unusual, but I think it has to do with this enlightenment, where it's, you know, there's darkness, the sun goes beyond, like, below the equator for 3 days, and you have this darkness, and then it comes back up, and there's enlightenment. And I think that has to do with the Piscean energy of. And again, Pisces is 2 fishes, so it's an enlightenment, but there's duality. There's 2 pillars. You're using both halves of your brain to bring in this grounded psychic intuition. You're uniting the male and the female energy. And that's actually related to some of the megalithomania videos I've been watching for a couple of days. I was talking about the ancient people who used to go into these induced death states. They would travel out of body and gain enlightenment, and then unite the male and female halves of their brains, and then they'd come back and they'd be all enlightened. You know, and it would be called a resurrection, even though they would be basically in a coma for like a week. And then also, some of the videos I was watching had to do with these, what's called it's like female energy water that's always deep inside the earth, and it never comes up and turns into rain and streams and all that. And it creates these like force fields underground. And then there's other energy lines where they call it Michael or Mary, and then also it could be called the dragon or tiger lines, and it has to do with male and female energy currents crisscrossing and undulating all over the earth. And a lot of the it has to do with spikes of energy over the earth, where you'd get like heightened like vibrations, and it has to do with again with like male and female energy, and like downloads, and like energy technology, and then enlightenment. So it's all of those things, and it would definitely be in this darkness phase of the age of Pisces, and it's all starting to come out now, and will be finished coming out, and healing the trauma from this recently finishing age of Pisces will be, it's going to be something that carries through to the next one, where you have an opportunity to finish working on it and go beyond. It's kind of like if you take economics, if you take like microeconomics, and then next semester you take macroeconomics, and even though they're not quite the same, there's going to be a little bit of overlap in review during the first week or 2 of the course. That's kind of how it is with the ages, where it's like, we worked on this now, this is what's going to be the bridge between them, and the next time we're going to pick up all the candy wrappers off the floor and then start a new game. Okay, so that is the age of Pisces, and you can order readings, templates, art things, merch, prints, etc. at these locations. All right, and then especially with the psychedelic designs I have, it's like a consciousness hack, like one of the, like a life shortcut kind of a thing. Instead of meditating for like 4 years, it's like you're getting this vibration off of it's like a holographic thing that's supposed to help you get into that enlightenment phase with color, which is energy. It's all waves. It's all waves. All right. So age of Pisces, duality, intuition, balance, all that. Okay? Thank y'all. Bye.